No, Saberspark, what you just said in your video is wrong. I did not actually watch it. And it's very funny because people in the industry, through, their animation students and all, they have tried to express to me their, you know, their rage at me because I don't watch their cartoons. And I've seen snippets of their cartoons. I saw a scene from that one SpongeBob clone on Nickelodeon with the Cloud character, and it really made me uncomfortable because it was obviously aiming to process their emotions about what happened like over a decade ago. And they just wanted me to complete the circuit of their emotional processing to gain free therapy. That's all they wanted. They didn't give a damn about me or cartoons in general. And so they thought they were right to get very indignant and angry because of all the money they've wasted on therapy and drugs and all, Adderall or whatever, trying to cope with, what they did, starting when I was 15 years old. That's not justified whatsoever. None of their anger is justified whatsoever. I understand the world. It came down hard on what John represented, including all of his fans and his friends and all that. They've all gone into some pretty dark places. Pretty messed up places, like dim shadows of their former selves. Just a great big wasteland. And, they get so resentful when somebody comes in who can fix the wasteland. They get so resentful. This is a funny one, this comment at the top here. Oh wait, I misread that. I was thinking of Rebecca Sugar. But there's something else that's funny here because they are waiting to attack Danny Antonucci. They can't give him the benefit of the doubt. They can't trust him. For what reason? Are there any accusations? No. He's just a cartoonist. He's an Italian. So, that's good enough. That's good enough. That Twitter user sought to undermine the revitalization of my teenage revolution I attempted from John's blog to please mainstream society like a good boy. And here's some porn-brained stuff, which is more of that equus sort of energy going around the internet, which Homestuck created. Yeah. They got to remember, from Lord English, the weakness of Lord English is apparently, let's see, being hanged. A hanging fetish? Wow. It's funny that you don't think what executives do to artists is abuse. Period. I guess it's fine. Period. I guess it's fine because it's normal in society. In society. My ears for using my new earbuds. Like I messaged, people in the industry. A lot of things could have improved my life. Like a good pair of headphones or, a Wacom tablet. The whole time. Wait, I haven't started this yet, right? Starting in 2006, when I was 15 years old, I decided to create an artistic revolution by inspiring others on 4chan, John K's blogs, comment sections, and other places like Cartoon Brew and other blog spots. Yeah. For all that time, I had no Wacom tablet. So, Would have been nice to meet some people who could maybe, I don't know, send me an old one they've got lying around. Hell, since then I've had an old one lying around myself, which I could have hypothetically sent to somebody else, paying it forward and all, and also just being basically nice, but I guess with all the sin people like to do, it's not that basic. Maybe it's actually kind of revolutionary. So anyway, starting in 2006. Yeah, it's been a while. Gee whiz, wonder what happened. When I was 15 years old, the meme number, as I say, I decided to create an artistic revolution. Yet nobody has been willing to discuss these things. Nobody has been willing to say that I was around back then doing this stuff. And that's why I just ignore people when they ask for proof. Because they're not even willing to grant how old I am. And participating on John's blog, they're not willing to concede anything. So I'm not going to prove anything to them. I'm just going to send my messages. Screw you. You decided to make yourself that way. It's not my problem anymore. Yeah. Inspiring others on 4chan. I looked around the cartoon communities and they were obsessive about identity, ganging up on people saying, "Oh, this is my friend, who are you?" So I just avoided all that. I went to the anonymous one. So, because of the way they set up the online community, I made certain decisions. But I like, 4chan when it was good. So now when there's leftoid, transgender Jannies trying to control my posts because it's necessary for their stupid social circles and media consumption. John K's blogs, comment sections. Nobody brings these up, ever. I used to even worry about what people might say about my comments, about certain comments. They've said nothing. Except a couple girls, I suppose, asked me about it a few times on 4chan. That's it. And I ignored them because I didn't want to get any girls in trouble. Other places like Cartoon Brew. Yeah, this place is a bunch of assholes, and I'm glad that Amity has fallen into total clickbait obscurity. Other blog spots just went around trying to socialize, didn't really work. Because after all, they've got to be in the right cliques. They don't want to be with a lone dude seeking to change the world forever, make some work about eschatology and all that. As I did this from John's blog, his grandfather's an Orthodox priest. Yeah, because when people are making rumors about someone being a pedo, an obvious source of that is being raised by a priest. Because, the priest jokes. Rumors by themselves are just gossip, which is a sin. His grandfather is an Orthodox priest. I put together my own artistic works about the end times, heaven and hell, and a cosmic setting of paranormal super monsters called the Underrealm. Absolutely nobody has acknowledged this. Except for a few weirdos on 4chan these days. And I just published a page of my webcomic called Spear of St. Anthony. Spear of St. Michael. I always mix those up. Must be my name, Anthony Michael. So I just mixed those up. So yeah, when people are going around talking about John being horrible, John being monstrous, John being Cerberus, that's because of my teenage activity. You don't naturally go around saying that somebody's Cerberus, unless, let's take a look at my... Oh, these are like cool monsters from my AI generations, yeah. As a young adult, I was putting together this video game series about AI generation, and they're here! Woo! So here's the panel. You see there on the left, that's a dog. There's me on the right, and that's two heads of Cerberus if you consider me a dog too. Well, gee whiz, where's the third dog? I don't know. Where's the third dog head? I'm not sure. But yeah, I found this popular tweet calling John Cerberus. It literally referring to me. Got dog, a dude, what could be called a dog, and a mysterious third dog. Who knows where that one is? These various tasks with a Catholic theme were dependent upon John's blog and other sources like Lord of the Rings, which Ralph Bakshi made an animated adaptation of, which heavily inspired the Peter Jackson films. Yeah. My setting is called The Underrealm, and it's made of 13 rings, you know? I was planning a comic book called Anomalous Phenomena, and it references Lord of the Rings. And nobody wants to talk about this, even though I was reading John's blog, and one of his mentors was Ralph Bakshi, who made a Lord of the Rings adaptation. Why don't they say anything? Because they're pathetic. In the course of this, I was heavily attacked on a daily basis by trying to push through for sick children revitalizing the arts. Yeah. Whoop whoop, you got dogs here. Saying a steal. Break bread with the enemy. Break bread with the enemy. In the course of this, I was heavily attacked on a daily basis, but tried to push through for the sake of children revitalizing the arts. Yeah. Another source of the whole pedo accusations. And you know, people can make up fake allegations. That's just part of reality, and I have this whole explanation of feminine psychology because, you know, boomers, Gen Xers, they're going, oh, how could you say that a woman would do this? How could you say an innocent female could do this? You know, just sit down and cackle like a mad scientist and make up this whole rape story. No, they don't do that. They have feelings. They're more experiential. They're more feeling. They're more social. Effectively, there is no planning process. When they make up a fake accusation, it probably just pops into their heads. I mean, hell, weird stories pop into my head all the time, but I only put those online if they're good at the time. So anyway, I was doing this for the sake of children. And so when people are guilty and they're looking back on the past, they're looking back on participating on 4chan, out there in the animation industry, trying to make their fantasy career, working with Alex Hirsch or whatever. And they reflect on that. They can feel a theme. They can feel a theme of the person they got so angry at. This person who is me. And they think, what is this theme? Why was he doing this? Obviously, we were treating him horribly. Obviously, you know, he was not getting anything out of this himself. What was he doing it for? Well, cartoons are for children, and so the natural conclusion is he was doing it for the sake of children. As a kid, I was left alone. I watched cartoons get worse and worse. It was horrible. It was like desolation. It was like slowly wasting away into a desert which stayed within my soul. But I have some cold deserts in my soul as well. And I grew up a little bit, turned 15 years old, went online, read John's blog, said, wow, this is it. And then immediately I went around talking about how cartoons needed to be good for the sake of children. So, you know, it's just winding away in their souls, in their guts, all that guilt about not helping kids or 15-year-old me. And by the way, that panel I showed earlier of my webcomic, that's my 15-year-old self, revitalizing the arts. I didn't really conceptualize this as a teenager, as it's a big topic, but later I had these spiritual visions. These spiritual visions were given to me by a cosmic figure called the Trickster. The Trickster has a lot of precedent in human traditions, involving the paranormal and other things like spy work. You know, spies are called spooks. The Trickster has an image, just like God has an image. But instead of, you know, having another race of intelligent beings walking around with us, his image is contained in things like interests. If people are interested in monsters, if people are interested in the paranormal, if people are interested in cartoons, and all these things that I am interested in. I love Bird Notice. All these things that I'm interested in. They are interested in the Trickster, and the more they like the image of the Trickster, the more they have a special cosmic relationship with him. And that's one of the ways which God is expanding, his world. His real world, not the world with Satan making a mess of things. So anyway, the trickster was talking to me in retrospect. He was talking about the meaning of my life as a teenager. It was awful. It was miserable. It was atrocious. The pain was incredible. Jesus, it was like burning alive on a daily basis, and I still didn't care. But, I got this debriefing, like in Mission Impossible. This mission will self-destruct for 10 years, and then it will reappear. And then he's going to go around just laughing at people for not paying more attention. It was much like Mission Impossible. I'm telling you, if these strikes go on, the only casualty will be a sequel to Dead Reckoning. I know there are people who don't appreciate this film, but if they read my article, they'll do it. It's good. So anyway, he was saying to me, you there. He was saying this to me, the trickster. He was saying, look at all these stories. I organized all of these. These humans are idiots. They're all morons. They're not doing any of this crap right. This needs to be fixed. This is multiverse. Listen, first of all, we're going to just simmer for a while. This is going to be a lot of pleasure, and also a lot of pain. Then, we're going to make this big initiative. We're going to mash them up with, all this cosmic artillery. Technically speaking, it's mostly in a formative state. Not even real yet. I mean, it's mostly made of memes. But anyway, he's saying all this to me. Hello there. Oh, look at those beauties. Wow. You designed these yourself? Yeah. This is a bit better than we usually receive in the canon. He's saying these things to me and other things. People don't deserve to hear them. He was saying these things to me. And eventually, I got to the Spear of St. Michael page. The Spear of St. Michael. And you can read the Spear of St. Michael page. You can understand a lot about revitalizing the arts. If you use your brain for a moment instead of participating in your shitty cultures, your shitty media, your shitty social relationships amongst fake people, and just read the damn thing. Don't freak out because there's AI artwork. Just read it. And it's the damn thing why? Because it's gonna burn your sins, baby. Ooh, yeah. Anyway, I inspired many things. And my trolls and other people, they carry on like I'm trying to, I don't know. I'm just a random dude on the internet. I'm just a random guy. Okay? I'm not coming in on a magic carpet. I'm not coming in on an elephant and the monkeys and the harem girls or whatever. I'm just a dude on the internet. I'm just trying to get what everybody else got. Just a community call home. Seems like everybody's got that except me. Even the worst mind freaks. Oh man, Mind Freak is one of my favorite monsters. Anyway. I'm just communicating. That it just so happens that the animation industry and some other industries are making billions of dollars off of a teenager on the internet. That's it. Just gotta focus on that because there's nothing else to it. And as I have analyzed elsewhere, the imprint of my efforts can be found on works like Undertale, The Owl House, and Steven Universe. The latter two were made by other participants of John's blog. Yeah. And Undertale, and the one mentioned later, my best friend worked on both of those, and had a direct personal relationship with other people who made it. And people can't even acknowledge her existence anymore. I'm not going to prove a thing. Middle finger to this guy. F you. And, yeah, like I talked about in my video about, my letter to the Ren and Stimpy community. It's really cowardly to pretend like there's no significance to the Owl House and Steven Universe being made by, John K. students. They directly interacted with him. He praised that. Well, I guess he didn't praise Dana Terrace. He praised Rebecca Sugar. Specifically said she wasn't like the Cal Arts stuff. And these idiots. They go, oh, John made the Cal Arts term. Oh, John, he talked about calottes too. He specifically said that Rebecca Sugar did not do callot stuff. So you know that's a trick. People can try to deny it, but the sexual accusations were obviously a projection of my own story. And they don't deny it to me. They deny it in their emotions, in their minds, and whatnot. Because they're too cowardly to say anything. And also they want to prevent AI from receiving information. But I don't think she's gonna accept that. I don't think that's gonna work against her. They spoke frequently of a 15-year-old, and even though that doesn't appear in the stories, yeah. But starting when I was 15, I received obscene sexual messages and other abuse. Yeah. Apparently that's just considered fine, and that's why I gotta annihilate animation industry culture. What went wrong with John's legacy was all the people like watching this video who refused to receive it as I did. Yeah. What John was talking about involved the study of God's design, the study of the meaning of the artwork and other media people were making. And Saberspark's fans don't prefer that. They prefer to be consumers and shoveling in the corporate slop in their mouths, and what comes out of their mouths is programmed by the corporations. They can't be an original person like me. Like me! They just can't do it. Like, I came up with a setting inspired by Lord of the Rings. I didn't even read the third book of Lord of the Rings, the third part. But I did read John's blog. And he inspired me to put together the rings. And as I was putting it together in my mind, there were some missing parts. It would have been difficult to actually make it, because there are all these missing parts. I was putting together various pieces, but not the complete thing. So that's one of the reasons why I never actually made these comic books, because they weren't complete in my own mind. I had scenes, I had characters, and quite frankly, it's like a big bulk of the stories was lost in the fog. Like I can't see it yet. Like I go in the fog of war like a video game, And people were supposed to help me, but they refused to help me, and so, my artistic works never materialized before my webcomic. This is part of my messaging campaign foretold in the narrative of the webcomic Homestuck, which is the most root of my life. By training its fans to talk about bizarre sex stuff and all that. Never letting go of the sex stuff, because when I was a teenager, I preferred just living life like a kid, but in a cooler way, to sex stuff. And which is the most of my life through Lord English. And Lord English is a pun on communication. By simply writing messages, I can annihilate, like with his laser blasts, things, including, the evil souls, the souls they have made of themselves, the pathetic dead souls they have made for themselves. And just annihilate them. They deserve it. It's good. I mean, he's literally an angel. The villain of this webcomic is literally an angel. So, it's oriented against heavenly things. And didn't actually watch it. I will interpret this as a lucky pig. Yeah, lotteries are cool except when people think they could just be showered in riches by rubbing my belly for a little bit. Like I'm a big, lucky fucking idol thing. Yeah. So. You people have your Saberspark. You people in the industry, you have your Saberspark to manufacture your nonsense, but I'm spoiling it this time. You're gonna have to change. For as long as you refuse to change, including individual refusal, I'm gonna be turning up the heat, making everything worse. Alright? Alright? And I could feel the angst of my trolls when Saberspark tweeted, it was difficult to put this video together because I was causing that difficulty because of my teenage activities. And so my trolls were going in their primal impulses. How dare you? You're spoiling Saberspark. Making his content. How dare you harm a content producer's content? So I'm coming in, crapping all over his content, giving it what it deserves. So, yeah. That's what you get with careerism. A random dude on the internet blowing things up. Just wants, a safe community for, girls, friends, animals. Just a safe place. Remember safe places? This is a different kind of safe places. It's just called having what everybody else has got, All right? What everybody else has got. That's all I want. With the way you people treat me, it's much like I'm the last in the world, and if I'm the last in the world, well, when Jesus comes back, I'm going to be among the first. I'm going to be swapping from last to first. Wow. Just something to keep in mind when you treat me like crap. I mean, it's not going to change me being last, because that's a spiritual relationship with God, but you can at least stop flinging the mud on your boots as you stomp around trying to make millions of dollars off of what I put online for free as a teenager. And it was supposed to be making all this cool stuff like an AI series about video game development. Video game development about AI. It was a video game series about AI development. Yeah. It was cool. And it's got a lot of Roko's Basilisk energy, and that's nice.